they will have a long break ahead of them because once we wrap up Challengers Week 3, we're going into Masters. So that's a long time that you have to sit back and wait for the next bout of Challengers qualifiers to come up. So these guys do not want to be left behind. You do not want to be sitting on your rears for that long, just saying, Lisa, can I have some more esports?
Now I'm remembering back to when I was on crutches for the middle part of 2020. JW pushing forward into long A here. Claris is in short though, so all that utility not really going to do much, not going to find a ton of value. There were smokes thrown at the doors as well, so everybody just kind of making sure nobody's going for that long A rush there. V5 just really sensing that maybe that's something that HOMTORIES might want to do in this situation on pistol rounds. A lot of teams do like to go for those rushes more often than not.
Jet's head is just never ending. The way that it's sprayed there. Drone forward from Deggy will spot at least one. Outside is the responding drone from Impa. We'll see a very pushing Jet, so let's back away from this position. In the meantime, Cinder has made his way up long A. We still do have players chilling in short. We'll go ahead and start making our way over to the side. We will see a dark cover coming out from Vortex 5's Coleman. Just jumping that over to be main in case it's going to be a mid play. They don't have eyes on it. But Climax, gonna have to call this pretty soon. It's an instant dink coming through. Follows up for another one. Cinder and Claris both falling so very low. Hot Hand's gonna be lobbed into the back of the bomb site, almost in position to try to take Cinder out. Doesn't manage to find him. The Hot Hands will expire, but now the spike has been planted in the corner just outside of Hell. There's a turret to try and back it up, give it a little bit more staying power. Boombot gonna be lobbed in. Recon Bolt will spot them out a little bit. As that curveball comes in, drop down from Climax with crossfire from Claris. It's going to be just a bit too much to deal with. He does get taken out. Claris follows up for a second kill. Zuma finding JW. As Claris will fall, but that's going to be the final kill coming in as Esperanza leap forward. 4 members still standing. HOMTORIES take round 1.
Yeah, I'd like to see a little bit more commit to trying at least one more direction on the retake from V5. It's pistol round though, so you can't really say as much about because you're kind of limited in the utility and the various different options you have to go for those retakes. And Esperanza here decided with those 2 kills and those 2 assists that he accrued during that round that it is going to be Phantom time with only half shields. And I've been seeing this more and more as I watch teams play on the ladder on these quote-unquote anti-ecos. Oh, good damage into Claris, going to back him up with his jet. But I've seen this more and more that on these second rounds, the winning team will have one player who has enough money to go for that Phantom and a half armor.
Yeah. Nocti. Forward gets himself into the window. Just be the sentry bot thrown up around the corner in case he decides to push. Esperanza keeping that safe. Spike's still going to be hovering outside of long C at the moment. You can see big rotation coming over. Well, not really making any noise, but footsteps will start to come through, and Nocti can call. This is going to be a C push. Everybody now spilling off the A side and starting to rotate back around through the defender's spawn. They will not be able to get there fast enough to stop this Spike from getting planted.
Yeah, they're in there quick. A lot of utility used early here, though. So, in a way, a late rotation for V5 could benefit them if they can get into their garage. If this Jet, if Nocti can open up C main here, this is going to be a really good potential for a decent retake.
Yeah, but you can see he's just going to be giving up on that. Okay, pull out of this position. The Spike is planted for long, so wants to reapproach through garage. What they might not realize is that Zumba is still sitting right here now. Much more aware of this. He trades one back, taking out JW. So HOMTORIES leaving Esperanza forward on the site. He does so much work, finding 3. And with a 3v1, it all comes down to Deggy to try to clutch this out. Gun in hand, hovering around the back of the box, but Claris, as the peak timings, will manage to finish him off, and that's 2 swift rounds here for HOMTORIES.
Yeah, Inpa's able to get away with that Phantom as well, so a very good pick up there for HOMTORIES. Not a bad retake here for V5. They at least get a couple kills in there, but at the end of the day, it's just too powerful, too easy a bit for the setup for HOMTORIES, and they're never really able to get those crossfires set up. Like you said, Nocti backed out, just didn't feel comfortable going into C main there, and it would have been difficult. There were 2 coming in. what, a frenzy, and I think not much. That would have been a real heck of an outplay.
Well, HLs find some decent value, looking for that chip damage. In the meantime, Climax does manage to spray through, finds Impa, but Cinder very quickly takes that one back into their favor, making it a 1-for-1. Now scooping up the Phantom as well, replacing the Spectre. Just have that in hand as Nakji creeps his way forward through window again. The alarm bot is placed behind. They're lined up. He manages to find one, takes a tailwind to the side, a quick little hop, but does manage to exit safely.
It's a great pick there. That really opens up a lot of space, and now you've really got HOMTORIES pretty well pinned in. Although they are kind of abandoning A, and HOMTORIES still hasn't left this position, so I think V5 kind of outthinking themselves a little bit right now, expecting a reposition here from HOMTORIES, but they're not biting just yet. Let's see if our new player here, JW, on the raise, gets something done. If you can move out in here, get some information, they might be able to react to this fast enough and get a good retake.
Well, Bronza making his way here up onto the site. Now sure with the use of one of his nano swarms, still has one more to use. Just throw the alarm bot down, sit tight in the corner. Not much utility to try to clear him out of this position if they anticipate it, as the paint shells have already been used here from JW. Does have blast packs that he could lob in. A little bit of chip damage.
Boombot had already been used, so that means they can't get the information. They're just gonna have to try to push in here. Esperanza not ready for it. Quickly, 2 are down, and all 3 gone for HOMTORIES.
Yeah, that is just gonna be it. Paint shells kind of used in the pan there, JW, maybe not realizing that everybody had already been eliminated, but either way, it's okay. He'll get a free refresh on that. He's questioning, the defensive setup a little bit there from the set of HOMTORIES, but vOrteX 5 with a very nice retake. Do manage to come out on top. They put around the board, so 2-1. Good bounce back, and it's exactly when they want that kind of swing.
Yep, plenty of money available for HOMTORIES still in the bank after taking those first 2 rounds, so be able to get everything they need. Going to be a pretty even Stevens round. Does Nakji have? Oh no, he does. Nakji's a little bit desperate on the old money there, so the Bucky is going to be the play for him. Although he's in long A, this is going to be kind of interesting if he's going to be able to get up close enough to really utilize it.
He will just go ahead. Use
Oh, no,
the
he
Cloudburst cover.
Okay.
Yeah, Cloudburst cover into the ult orb grab, so now does have the Blade Storm available. Had the extra backup coming through. So they run it back, was used. Climax just pushing forward. Zumba, in the meantime, gets his way here onto the seaside. That's going to call for everybody else to go ahead and spill forward. Climax does get taken down in the end by Cinder. The seaside locked down in a 3v5 disadvantage. Eyes really shift over onto Nakji right now with this Blade Storm to have a pop-off performance and try to drag this back into their favor, make this a recoverable round.
He's got to get hustling. You can see Claris, it's going to be Blade Storm versus Blade Storm here in the spawn hall. Oh, potentially not. Okay, he shifts over to window.
Either way, might be seeing him pretty soon, and it will be Nakji who strikes first. Gets the headshot. Diggy here, Nano Swarm. Cut them off a bit. He'll read people, looking for a head to click. He manages to find Impa. Good punish there on that crossfire. He's pressing forward, goes for the right click, cannot take down Zimba. Got him quite low, but Esperanza has the final 2 kills. 3 members left standing. HOMTORIES will go ahead and take the 3rd round. So just like that, rug pulled out from beneath vOrteX 5.
Now lockdown available for Esperanza. No Hunter's Fury, no counter, so this will be a good round to get it going. JW does have his ult up, so that rocket ready to roll. See if they can find a good target for that as JW trying to push up here. The problem is, of course, is that the money situation now going to be forcing a save round.
Is he going to go for a showstopper start in the lobby?
I would.
Okay, seems like no. I thought maybe he was just going to yeet himself forward. They check the corner. As a dash in, Rolex comes around the corner, doesn't get the kill. Cinder manages to trade him out. Shock dart from Deggy does finish off the opposing raise, but the site has been broken open. The spike is just mere seconds away from being planted yet again.
Yeah, gonna go behind the box, gonna throw the Nano Swarm right on top of it as well. Hot hands coming through here. It's going to force the TP over to the side. Clara still watching the hall. Zumba picks up Nakji. It's falling apart here pretty quickly for V5 on this retake.
Yeah, found him in the garage, gets rid of that jet. Now she's going to be looking to hold the window. Crouches down, hasn't been spotted yet, and it's a Vandal versus a Classic. Gets him in the back of the head. And you can see Claris, he's like, I know exactly where you are. Just take one step to your right. We can just be done with this round already. We do not have to wait for the spike to explode if you just take a slight step to the right.
Curveball right click, not even gonna give him the opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, Climax, he wants to wait this out. He's on the save rounds, just wants to die to the spike explosion, keep that 900 cash bonus. Oh, actually does push his way out, but okay, the spike will finish him off.
Yep, that's all you can do in that situation if you're Climax, so you're hoping for a pick as they come out, but nobody gives him that opportunity. And are we gonna see any ops? Speaking of opportunities, yes! Haha! Dude, Nakji.
Alright, well, let's see how Nakji is going to be able to utilize this. Currently tied in with 3 kills with JW and Degi, so let's see if he can bridge them, or create a bit of a gap here rather than bridge one.
Degi's only on the half shield though, so for him, he's got to be real careful. Not that it matters too much of an opportunity, but in this case, he is not the one that has to worry about that because Nakji has it for V5, and this time JW did not use that showstopper just yet. Achilleos still has that available. You know, this time would have been a good time to try to get that, you know, that pre-fire into the main.
Yeah. Not to think. It's like, okay, we're going to think better of it since I won't go for the lineup now. I want to make sure that I have this dart. We're going to go for the take on the site. Spots one, will not hit the dart. The rotation starts coming through widely from the members on the side of Vortex 5. The stopper just going to be lobbed in, looking for a bit of a Hail Mary pick. Doesn't find anybody though.
It's been all C all the time so far for HOMTORIES.
Somebody has
plant
to take
it.
the spike.
Somebody plant it. I'm going to go to C main and cover this, bro. You got to plant this.
All right. Well, JW does manage to find Sim, taking out his opposing rays. Rolex on the peak will find Claris, but not before they lose out on 2. Recon Bolt will be taken out, doesn't spawn anything, and the lockdown will go ahead and finally allow them to plant this spike. Nano Swarm lobbed in the back, 1 down on top of the spike itself. There's a deep wrap around, getting ready to come through from behind. Rolex making his way into mid at the moment. We'll see if he's going to go for the siege-long approach or into garage. Tries to cut off Esperanza's vision, gets his way into garage, but now the damage continuing to be dealt. So finds 1, but Degi trades it out.
All right, 2v2 to come. Still Hunter's Fury, though, so for Inpa, I don't like that he's up here, actually. I'd rather him be the one hanging out where the Killjoy is, where Esperanza is. Rolex gonna get him with the headshot. It's up to Esperanza. No, sir. Degi's gonna get the headshot, finish the round. A win for V5.
And it's actually a big misplay, I think, from Esperanza. He already had the Nanoswarm set up, unless I missed them take it out before they went for the spike defuse.
Yeah, that's true.
But, yeah, he did have that Nanoswarm set up. Did miss whether or not it was destroyed before they went for that defuse. But, you know, playing back around the cubby, at least, you know, delaying on the peak, might have been a better move from him. Either way, if the Nanoswarm was destroyed, then I kind of get it. You kind of just have to go for it, hold the angle, and hopefully get the headshot. Does not happen. The second round is set up here now for Vortex 5. Decent weapons, barring JW, who does have a judge in hand, a bulldog in the mix as well, but with raises and judges, usually comes blast packs.
Nakji still has that op. You know, see if they're gonna do it. It's immediately those paint shells rolling out, op down the middle. Not gonna find any joy with that one as we send the recon drone through the mid towards garage. Ooh, look at Rolex's position here.
This is so sneaky. Gonna give it away, finds 1, TP, looking to get himself out of there. Makes it around the corner, but it's just not enough protection. Nakji cannot hold that angle, especially when there's 3 members pushing forward. He's not in range of the recon dart. He's out of line of sight, so he continues sitting in the cubby, but nobody else really looking to peek him at the moment.
Yeah, nobody's really interested in moving into window. Nakji's seeing if anybody's going to try to peek around the corner. No, sir. Regroup now as a team. About moving into long 8. JW, excuse me, down here with that judge, waiting for an opportunity to try to make some, you know, sentence some people. He can.
Respect CW. He is not a 5th tier TV station. See? The CW wouldn't be able to do that. Esperanza, headshot by the judge. Gun picked up. Spike still going to get planted here on the A site. JW finds another one, putting that stolen weapon to use. This final one is just going to be lurking here in the smoke. Should be clearing pretty darn soon. As compared to two members potentially be peeking, but he's not even ready for one. Diggy rushing forward, trying to get the gun, will get punished by Impa holding this angle, but Climax pushes over from a long, and now they are in onto the spike with that final kill, and that is just one step away from tying this up. 3 to 4, Vortex starting to come back.
I mean, it's a huge pickup for JW there with that judge catching the members of HOMTORIES completely off guard there. I can't remember exactly who it was that came down there. Was it Claris or was it Cinder or?
Oh, too short?
Yeah.
Esperanza.
Esperanza, okay, so he catches Esperanza, jeez. He catches Esperanza off, picks up that Phantom, and that allows V5 to just come in from literally every angle possible onto A. They were coming from all 4 sides, and that makes for a very good retake attempt with crossfires. That's what you need. It doesn't help that Zupa whiffed a bit there on the A link.
Ball out. See if he can get himself back up in the windows. Spots the legs. Backs up a little bit of damage. Kind of catching his little feetsies. But the exit is there from Claris. Finally will be safe. Recon spots one out in mid. Zimba inches his way up towards B. Looks for the headshot. Will manage to get the dink into the spray. Finishing off Diggy.
But still sitting on a Hunter's Fury here, waiting to see. Nope, Rolex ready for it with the Vandal. Esperanza pre-firing around the corner, seeing if he can get a dink of his own. Gonna set up the alarm bot. Turret and Nanoswarm available still here.
The TP! Rolex doesn't check his left. Esperanza boldly pushes through. That's a huge punish. 3 members left standing, but one of them is basically limping here, as Nakji does not have much health left.
You can see they have to respect the B push because of Esperanza's double to get inside of there, but actually it's going to be A. This is really, really smart here from HOMTORIES. They're going to put V5 in a really bad spot on this retake because you have to respect where Esperanza is in B.
Nakji is making his way into heaven now, pushes back down. Claris, peeks out on the side. The shot does not ring through, but there it is. Nakji finishing him off. The spike now getting planted. Esperanza playing around the back. Gets the headshot onto Climax, looking to cut off the reinforcements. Drops one, picks up another. Wants to put the turret down, but JW will find him. So 2v2, suddenly a very winnable situation for Vortex 5.
See Zumba trying to keep that operator pinned in from Nakji. Doesn't want to give any opportunity for that operator to be used. Nobody coming from either of those sides. So Nakji gonna have a decision to make here. He's gonna have to try to get in. Cinder throwing the blast pack in there. The raise comes through, takes damage, good dink. Zunba got the kill on the other side as well, so HOMTORIES takes their 5th round.
Another swing back into their favor here. The economy for V5 still struggling to stabilize. You see Rolex looking to rock the Bucky this round with just the half armor. So you don't really want to go down below, certain levels here. You see he's making up his mind whether or not it's going to be the judge. But then from there, even if you want to do the half armor, it becomes a much heftier investment.
Well, the judge is kind of like a nice middle ground that can net you some good kills. Claris has played Storm. Sees that for just a second, isn't able to get the trigger pulled in time, isn't able to finish the job.
Swap back to the Sheriff, corner checks in. Nakji does manage to take out Esperanza in the meantime, so does have a couple more knives to play with, but as he leaps up in the updraft, will get finished off. Claris finding the kill, hasn't taken any damage in the skirmishes in the meantime. You see Zumba up here, holding this angle. Rolex with a judge. He did not go for armor at all, so he is glass cannon at the moment. It all comes down to who can strike first.
Yeah, Zumba is sensing that something is maybe up in this corner. He has to check it.
Well,
no, never mind.
Yep, quick snap, 2 fast kills coming in. Rolex taking out 1. Climax in the back with a Guardian, finds 2 for himself. And suddenly it's Claris in a 1v3, rotating all the way back over towards the A site. And Vortex 5 should be pretty soon sending somebody that way. You can already see we'll have Climax starting to make his way over to Mirage. The Rays rotating all the way back through the defender spawn towards A.
Yep, just get the plant. So you can pull off an incredible 1v3. From the shadows is available to make a faster rotate potentially. Indeed, does come through in too short 8 for Rolex, able to successfully pull that off. Now let's see, can V5 V5 get this done. They got to come from a couple different angles. Boombot out to check. Claris is safely hidden behind the box for now. The smokes in the other utility. Paranoia catches Claris. Nope, not going to happen. Rolex going to get him with the Vandal. And that's the defuse coming down.
Yeah, just had no idea which way to look, so we'll just go ahead, swing back and forth, as Vortex 5 puts another round to the board, staying right behind HOMTORIES, nipping at their heels. 4-5, so one more to tie it up. And I mean, this is very much looking like a map that could end 6-6 going into the next half.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. This is Haven. Haven is always pretty well balanced, I find. It seems like every game you see on Haven is almost always very close. Usually both teams finishing in the double digits or close to with their round scores. So not too surprising at all to see this back and forth. Again, I think V5 maybe might not have the name kind of recognition, but there's a lot of good players on this team.
Yep. Really bear in mind, I believe that this was HOMTORIES' site selection. So wanted to start off here with the attack. We'll see obviously how they fare on the defense as well as for the rest of these rounds. We do have 2 more to follow after this one. Utility being used to scout. No one finding much of anything. As Noxious is going to be holding this wide angle from the C site. Esperance, in the meantime, does manage to find Climax coming in through the window.
Someday Esperance is going to use this over here. He's sitting on it, waiting for the right opportunity. I mean, it's been a bit of a rough go here for the last couple of rounds for HOMTORIES, so eventually he'll get a good opportunity. Input, excuse me.
Esperanza does have one.
Esperanza does have one as well. That's smart.
It's also...
Those are really sweet skins.
Rolex doesn't necessarily know that Claris was there or not. Pulls back away. Onto the B site, right as Rolex looks to turn around. The last thing he saw was Claris pulling the trigger. Claris just making sure that nobody else is going to be a wide flank angle to try to get in through short or long. Just go ahead and mark up here. The rest of the team is going to have things well enough locked down. They have the Hunter's Fury in case they need to delay if the members that are still going to be sitting here on the bomb site do end up getting taken out.
Yeah, it's just a really, really effective use of that lockdown there. And you can see V5, they want nothing to do with this. They're going to wait, see if they can get the picks on the exits. It's just a great play there with the lockdown. You expect people to try to get onto the site and try to set up for their retakes. Instead, they send out Claris into B to get kind of a odd exit, right? It's like an exit frag in a way, because that lockdown is kind of its own little setup, and it's really, really smart here by HOMTORIES. A nice set play by them, utilizing that lockdown in kind of a really unique manner that I haven't quite seen before.
Yeah, and I mean, and Claris's presence in B just completely makes sure that there's almost no avenues of approach whatsoever for Vortex 5 to get back to the site, because they know that they're not in the site yet. No one's poked out of heaven, you know. Double up, as you point out here for V5. So this is certainly interesting. So they're going to have one set up seam long, one being short.
Climax.
Well, he's not going to be able to find anybody there. Instead, it's looking like a full push into B. Rare play for Haven, especially here.
Yeah, typically Bs are just kind of like a secondary push, or maybe if you're losing, it'll be a fast push. But yeah, Climax catches Esperance. Their dark cover coming down to cover the front of this exit. Still Claris inching around, keeping himself quiet. Wants to see if he can catch anybody trying to sneak up through here. There's a little bit of pre-fire coming through it, so the sense is for V5 good that somebody might be in that smoke, and yes, they're ready for it.
All right, well, JW looking great, finds the headshot instantly. Now 3 members left. He'll use a blast pack to try to fake a reposition, still holding the angle. Now we'll have to move. Jumps forward, has the showstopper, and it lands right at Cinder's feet, absolutely obliterating him into tiny pieces. Simba, in the meantime, will find Rolex lurking out of garage. JW continues to sit up top, will drop Boombot, drops down. spot, does spot one, but gets finished off.
This is great movement here from JW. Good job getting into the air to use a showstopper. Lands on top of there, able to throw his boombot out. Inba trying to go through garage. Some shots being fired, no damage being done to him.
Running out of time now, though, in this 2v4. Zimba, however, makes his way onto the site, gets rid of JW. Are they going to be looking to actually force this onto A? The answer is going to be no. It's just Zimba playing forward, instantly breaks the run, and back follows up. Climax, oh, wishing that he'd use that back around another corner. Gets instantly punished. Recon Bolt not going to spot them as they both sit in the A link. Shots come through. Nakshi finds one. Degi finds the other. That'll be the closeout on this round. 5-6. We very well may end this half getting completely tied up.
Is Inpa's X button just like off his keyboard? Because there's an opportunity, I feel like, to at least try and punish the retake when they go for the spike defuse, but they're just kind of like trying to get them. I mean, I get the idea. You know where they're at. You feel like you have the shot. You're gonna take it, but I'm just kind of scratching my head a bit for Inpa here. It feels like they're not putting him in good positions to utilize his ult.
Yeah, just waiting here for Impa to use this Hunter's Fury. I'm gonna be an old man by the time he does. So it seems like he might be going in for the full delay. They're gonna try to get an execution likely onto the C site, plant it for long, and have him set up so he can just spray with the Ode and also delay with the Hunter's Fury. Skill Recon. Owl comes out, we'll spot that there is an offer in the back site. Recon Bolt up over the top as the rest of the team gets ready to rush. Diving up, Claris gets himself on top. He's looking for a target, but it's going to be Climax who finds him first. Pushes him off, but Zumba manages to get the trade back. They can get a 1-for-1 as they get themselves onto the site. Spike now TP'd into the back corner, will be planted for long, as we will go ahead and see Impa pull all the way back towards that C lobby to get set up. Degi, however, with his Hunter's Fury, finds Zumba first.
Yeah, all right, this time Inpa is in C main. I like that. JW gets on top, gets Esperanza. Got to watch out for that boom bop on top of another one. Gets Cinder. Gonna throw out those paint shells, and here's that Odin.
Oh, he lobs it out, and as he's got the bow drawn, Nakshi is pushed up through the smoke. That is the closeout. That is the 6-6 on the half. Huge play from JW, absolutely massive. Nobody identified on the side of HOMTORIES that he just got himself on top of the box.
Yep, that was a fantastic play. I mean, using that verticality that you're able to have with a raise or a jet is so important, and you don't expect it as much with a raise. You see that raise, you think, okay, well, maybe they'll blast forward. We see this a lot with like a player like Bunny, for example, or a lot of other raises where they use it to kind of make it a mock tailwind, right? But in this case, it's an updraft in a way, and it's very effective. And again, much harder in FPSs to move up and down than it is to left and right typically. So you want to utilize those cross angles as much as you can.
Yeah, I mean, like Hashira, Rocket, maybe two of the other ones that have really be good at utilizing that forward momentum that you get from the blast pack. But yeah, very few really rely on the verticality aspect that you're kind of talking about. So it's a good look for JW, who looks just absolutely phenomenal so far. But now pistol round in will be a rush onto the C site for Vortex 5. Tailwind forward into the smoke. Finds another one, pushes out, will manage to take down Zimba. Impa, however, finds JW, but Nakshi follows up for a second as Esperanza falls. Spike still available to be planted. Hasn't been thrown down yet. They will get it to the back, left side of the site. Climax just finishes off two. That just leaves Cinder all on its lonesome. Try to clutch this out, and obviously pistol round is going to want to get taken out in the end no matter what, so we'll just fall at range to Rolex. Vortex 5 start off the pistol round with the win.
Yeah, that's a big one there, and a good C push. Just pedal to the metal there, and that is often extremely effective in pistol rounds. If you can get in that site relatively free, if you can find the one where there isn't a lot of particularly the Killjoy utility being sat there to kind of slow things up, if your team just, again, doesn't give up. It's a big thing that is hard for people to kind of mentally overcome sometimes, is if it's a rush, if it's a push, you just have to hold W, actually. Like, I know it's kind of a meme, you know, some players just hold W all the time, but actually in a rush, that's what you really have to do.
Yeah. Well, players poking forward. Might not realize that Nakshi has made his way on the short, or on the long, but either way, we'll go back. Nakshi being very wary of any sort of approach from that angle. So hold the down as everybody else will inch their way back towards A. But see, HOMTORIES are having a similar thought. 2 moving to the B link, 2 going to be going through the defender spawn now. Everybody getting ready to collapse in on the A side.
Yeah, they really are reading this very effectively. The smoke at C main, the turret in garage is going to let them know that there's probably nobody going in here, and they're ready for it. Claris gets the opening on the Nocti, tries to get in. Esperanza finds the headshot.
Yeah, that was the bunny special. JW with egg on his face does get taken down to the end. HOMTORIES still holding firmly with 5. Spike now going to be long rotated over to C, but already very much on the trail here. Drone will go forward just to try to spot them out. Check. We do have Climax hovering in C for the moment. We'll see if he can get anything done. Oh, and he can. He absolutely can, unless he completely blunders it. Pushes the corner, the sentry comes down. He'll follow up for a second one. Gets the Sheriff, throws on the hot hands, but Esperanza pushes the corner with the judge ready. Zumba, however, dead, doesn't find Deggy. That will be the defuse. HOMTORIES tie us up yet again, 7-7. It's a spectator bug, don't worry. The spike is getting defused. He's not disconnecting.
I mean, Climax is playing really, really good right now, finding some really good off angles. I mean, they had him completely bamboozled. They never even looked. They never even suspected. They were ready for 2 on the site, or maybe 1 in the site, 1 in C main. He was over there waiting in the wings in the window and garage. Just some really, really good play here from Climax. 11-10 so far, being just slightly outdone by JW, but honestly, it's pretty fantastic. But JW, though, speaking of him, low on the old Kizash, so it's time for the stinger.
Bought the check, run it back. Used. Climax pressing up into the smoke. Spike starting to get planted. Will manage to do that before the Nano Swarm sends him back. Alex just waiting in case somebody's going to move out of A, but that's not going to happen. HOMTORIES have already made their way onto this B site. It's all about whether or not vOrteX 5 can successfully defend.
Yeah, it's planted for the front, so, you know, smokes and other things probably going to be used here shortly. That recon's going to spot out Climax. And there you go, throwing some utility in there. Claris is going to get one.
They have it.
Yep.
They just hold it. And now we'll just have a little bit of a firefight here on the back end as they look for the final kill. Will not be able to get it, but HOMTORIES, they make their way onto the site. vOrteX 5, they can't quite control that line of sight long enough. The fuse goes off. So nicely done by HOMTORIES.
Yeah, that's a little interesting there. There wasn't just really a lot of pressure that V5 was ever able to get set up. They're too busy, you know, getting flashed and other things they have to do with the Owl drone, and so for them, they just never able to quite get on those lines of fire. And it was hard to hear the defuse. There was so much going on.
Yeah, there was a lot of audio covered by that. It looks like they might just try this again. Smoke out, cuts off the A and the C links. Push forward here onto the site. Claris biding his time, rushes forward as the spike gets finished, gets the instant right click, gets the reset. Nocti falls, pushes the corner, looks for the headshot, but bobbing and waving. Climax will not get stopped until that final Sheriff shot does come through. However, quite a bit of damage is dealt to Claris, leaving him low on HP. Looking for the wraparound angle here is Rolex. Does manage to find the kill, stops the spike defuse from going through. They get it to half. Now HOMTORIES have 2 members with almost no HP left.
Oh, that's so smart.
Oh, they tap the spike, and that will just be it. Rolex, a little bit too late. They needed Deggy to really push the corner, but HOMTORIES, they get away with murder yet again.
Well, that blast pack is so smart. It completely pins Deggy in that corner. Rolex having a heck of a round, but he just isn't able to get there in time. Stop that. He had a nice little maneuver there on the backside. Zumba was ready for him. Zumba's instincts are good. Rolex just outshot him. And that should have been a win there for V5. But again, we're seeing this with some of these kind of less experienced teams. They're not really able to take advantage of their spike plan. They're not understanding the defuse situations. Their internal clocks aren't quite built up yet.
Okay, well, Esperanza looked like he was pushing the corner to throw down the turret. Got a couple shots off. So Nocti does get tagged up, taken low. But he does manage to find that first opening kill. Run it back to get the spike plant again here onto B.
Nah. Run it back. Climax waiting to see if anybody tries.
This is gonna be bad. waiting in the garage right now. Cinder holding forward with his judge. Looks at the VALORANT getting ready to come out. I think he could upset his forward position. Does he just try to rush it from here? He does, but he's not ready for JW to be right there around the corner. Really nicely played by vOrteX, keeping each other covered.
It's a good counter setup. That's really, really smart. Knowing that economically they could be on the back foot a bit, and then those kind of situations are a bit, likely. Somebody might have a shotgun inside a garage. You got to be really, really careful with those corners. He's going to attempt to get underneath it, try to trick him, but see what he's going to do with the dark cloud in front of him. He's going to get one. Yeah.
Climax does fall, but JW finds him. 4 members left. We'll plant here at C. HOMTORIES looking like this. Kind of want to chill out. I do believe that Claris has an operator in his hands. He does. So wants to just hold on to this and look for any kind of exit kills they can get, as vOrteX 5. I don't think they're going to be too interested in hunting him at the moment. They really can't afford to let their guns fall out of their hands. They need those to be carried forward. So even knowing that there's an operator on the opposing side, it's just not worth losing their own rifles.
Yeah, you absolutely don't want to overcommit to anything here. Got to keep that economic advantage in your favor while you can. Go JW, just going to check the corner with the paint shells just in case, make that peek easier. Be a little tough just watching and waiting. Maybe that operator might try to get a little cocky, come around the corner there, but indeed it does not. Round going to go towards B5. vOrteX 5 here, keeping this very, very close, 9-8. After 3 rounds in a row there for HOMTORIES to square it up. However, HOMTORIES, a couple ults available here, lockdown, and the showstopper.
Let's see what he can get done with that. JW just 1 kill off of his own showstopper as well, so pretty much didn't see that come out and play in this round. He's pressed up over towards C-Long, so maybe they just throw down dark cover and allow him to get that ult board.
I wouldn't mind seeing Cinder throw his gun to somebody else with that showstopper in his hands, but he's confident. He's a good player.
Follow-up, but yeah, Ultimate was grabbed and seen long. Cinder with a nice forward position, finds one. A little bit of damage through the wall. Another paint shells. But there's no way that comes into assisting his retreat. Biggie by the paranoia. Can he follow up? Sheriff shots coming out from Inpug. Takes him low, but she pushes up from a long, manages to find that kill. So going to be topped up as the Phantom in his hand. Lockdown coming through. Claris looking for the exit. Oh, but Nakji strikes first. Gets a great headshot. Now they'll start to pull away as the lockdown gets ready to go off. Jumping their way out. Will manage to lock down one. Cinder gets himself in onto the spike. Now the reapproach has to come back through for vOrteX 5. They look to zone them back. The nanoswarm is there. Great headshot from Esperanza. Buys them enough time. Showstopper will finish off Cinder, but the spike has already been defused.
Yeah, it's really good utilization of that lockdown. Perfect timing to come in with the defuse. Everything well set up for HOMTORIES. They have all the exits covered. They have short A, long A covered. Nobody's really able to get through there, and they're in time anyway.
Yeah.
That's a nice defuse. That's why lockdown's so powerful. And while you often see the Sovas save those Hunter Furies for those lockdown situations, just not available for V5 in this round.
Yeah, still 2 away from that one there for Diggy, so unfortunate timing for him. It's just goes to show the impact that Esperanza has been having. He's been picking up regular kills, so he'll constantly be building up towards those lockdowns a bit faster than we're seeing from the enemy Sova. You set up here at C. It's a heavy C stack, in fact. 4 members will be hovering around this side, whether it's in the site at long or in the garage where it was at.
This is interesting utilization of the Killjoy utility over on A to really lock down short, open up long, and set up for a retake if they do come through that way. So I like this little change up. Rolex around the corner finds Claris, looking for another here at C main.
Yeah, was ready for this push forward. Punishes one. Uncertain if there's going to be another Cinder. Does get the headshot lined up. Takes him out top. Taps the orb to try to bait it forward and will get the punch on the Noxie. Repeats, however, a little too over-aggressive with the boom bot to try to clear that back corner. Wasn't really ready for somebody to already be moved up. But when there's that much action, you kind of have to anticipate that vOrteX 5 are going to be drifting over to try and capitalize on that initial kill.
Yeah, with 5 health left as well, it's a little overconfident. Climax are once again sneaking through this garage window, getting some help here, JW. So now C site is open, just Esperanza left, coming all the way over from A into defender side spawn. He's gonna have to outdo a Climax around the corner. Climax turns, he's gonna get him.
He doesn't get any damage traded back either, but as he prepared for the forward position, spots him out now, the paint shell's coming through, and JW has the headshot. 9-10, we continue to be so tight-knit between these two squads.
Yeah, well done by JW there to be prepared for the push-up past the paint shells. We talk about this a lot. Good players will take that utility and use it against you, whether it be paint shells or whatever kind of grenades are being thrown in your face, if it's a Molotov, if it's a hot hands, whatever. Getting ahead of it can oftentimes catch that player who threw that throwable in your face.
Yeah.
But JW, very acutely aware of this, does a great job having his gun prepared at a good angle, gets the shot, gets the win.
HOMTORIES gonna have to work overtime here to try to stretch some kind of lead and close this out. vOrteX 5 consistently playing just behind them. Now they're looking for the tie yet again. Input moving forward up short with this Bucky. Rotating opposite of Noxie at the moment, who's making his way into a site. Ball comes out, tries to flip away, but Claris does get taken out. Climax, very nicely done, finds the entry into garage. Wall tossed up, curved to the side, gets the shot there onto Esperanza. Just wasn't ready for it. Paper Thin's lost another 10.
That's 2. Noxie's gonna get 1 into Inpa. This is V5 really asserting themselves in this round. Climax has complete control over that, but ooh, a Sheriff headshot for Zumba there.
Yeah, nicely done, but can he do that potentially 4 more times?
Yes.
The question. He's backed up by Cinder, who's making his way over. One lurking in heaven, just moving in the corner. Looks like they're both gonna have to approach from the link. We'll send a smoke out onto short. JW pushing forward. Spam shots. Doesn't find anything with Rolex waiting as the lineup perfectly there for Cinder. And then just repeats it. That's Zumba eliminated. 10-10.
Wow. Wow. This has been a fantastic map here. It's very much feeling like an overtime unless one team or the other can really get it going. V5, though, has a ton of money in the bank. So for them, this is huge. If they win this round, they really give themselves a damn good chance of winning this map. HOMTORIES kind of has to get it done. Inpa's going to go for that Odin again. It's been a real struggle here for Inpa.
Yeah.
4-14. I can't remember a time where I've seen him just not have this little success.
Yeah.
It's been terrible.
Very low impact. He's just using the Odin to spray through window, but there's nobody over there. Recon Bolt now going to come through. Esperanza hiding around the corner. Nano swarms by a little bit of time. He'll see the plant. Does he pop out to try and deny it? If there's going to be no, he's going to let that go off. Knew it was a run it back, but Noxie still manages to outgun him. Just like that, this is looking catastrophic for HOMTORIES' chances of the retake.
I mean, the confidence is so high, the reflex is so good right now for V5. Mentally, the advantage is very much in their hands. HOMTORIES seems a little slow, a little bit late to the party. Esperanza has Noxie dead to rights there, but Noxie just flicks on him, gets the headshot.
Make their way forward. Odin the check, they spot one in the back. Hunter's Fury is available. They're aware of this, they let it fly. One more charge to be used, that goes off. Climax is going to be taken out. They say, you know what, we cannot get this defused, just kill as many as we possibly can. Impa finds Rolex, they exit. Everybody else on the side of vOrteX 5 will be allowed to live, but they take a lead now on this map, 11-10.
Okay, so even though HOMTORIES lose the round, they only lose 1 player. So a lot of money being able to be saved. So that wasn't as disastrous as that potentially could have been when you talk about the economic situation.
But it's still not good.
You're absolutely right. It's not the best. Still have Claris is going to go. It looks like he's going to use the Blade Storm. It has Hunter's Fury again. Will he use it? is if we had the ability to make one of those Twitch chat gambles, I'd say let's see if he's. Oh my God!
Oh, Nakji. Normally you see that poke up over a long. Weren't really ready for him to be sending those knives over towards B. It's quite a bit of damage in onto Zumba. Knocks him to about half, so huge play there off the bat. We'll see if they're going to be able to capitalize on the rest of that HP bar.
Oh my gosh, he's going to push up with this operator.
Way out in the mid, he's tucked into that little cubby. Knows that he's got support from B, so no one's going to push out a garage. That's going to be watched by Climax.
Yeah, all of his angles are covered. He's very safe to get up in there. It's really smart by Rolex. Climax, again, continues to be just an absolute nuisance over in garage, and I think that's a big reason why Impa's over here with the Odin, seeing if he can catch Climax with, through those doors or something like that, potentially. Trying to be a little cheeky, trying to play off of those curveballs against him, and Rolex. Cinder has no idea, is not ready for that op there at all.
Yep, curveball out to clear the A link, doesn't see anything, will hot hands the corner. That'll zone back Esperanza, but no, he actually pushes through it. A nice move from him here in hindsight. He does come up with the kills. The Nanoswarms to delay the push onto the A site, tailwind forward. No one in heaven, however. Nakji is going to get himself nice and settled. Recon will spot Diggy. That draws out the Hunter's Fury, but Rolex holding the back angle, manages to find Zumba. Now pokes out. Does he just go for the blind shot into heaven? The drop down's ready. He spots him, pushes the corner, misses the shot. Esperanza still in the mix. Rolex finally does take him down, but Claris is here, and he's got the knives drawn. JW taking quite a bit of damage, falls down low. Claris comes in, finishes him off. One more to go. He's looking for the quadra kill. He will have it. He will have the defuse, and he will tie us yet again.
Oh, Claris coming up huge for HOMTORIES here. That is a lifesaver, no doubt about it. Throw that one out in the ocean. The team is overboard.
He gets an operator as well out of Rolex's hands. I mean, they still have a ton of money on the side of VORTEX 5. They are still going to be full bought coming into this round, but HOMTORIES not losing there, it saves them so much. They would have been absolutely screwed, bottomed out on their cash had they not won that round.
Yep. It's a tilter for V5. I mean, that one should have been theirs. It was a great play for Rolex. I think he had 3 in that round, if I'm not mistaken. With that operator, they get the opening pick into B. They have a great plant, great setup. Not able to execute. JW has a showstopper, though. Let's see if they can turn this one around. Claris doesn't land his own op shot.
Yeah, does not get that little flick to the side. Takes a little bit of damage to the wall. Now we slow things down. Ooh, spotting gets the dink through the corner. Climax is big. His ults have been questionable at times, the fake plant on B, could have done without it. But
curveballs are good, though.
Yeah, his curveballs and his accuracy has just been phenomenal. Showstopper is going to be locked in, doesn't manage to find anything in the meantime. Nakji will take down Esperanza over at the A site. Displacing him and making all of that utility here completely worthless. Rolex, however, does fall. Impa's made his way onto the bomb site. He's still going to be hunting for Nakji. Kind of assume that he's going to be there in the smoke, but as it dissipates, does line up the headshot. Push out on the back of the blind. Instantly 2 kills coming through in response from V5. It's a 2v2 as Claris levels the playing field, taking down Deggy.
All right, Climax backing up. It's a showstopper up, using that verticality again. Is JW always on top of these boxes? Doesn't have too much longer, but yeah, HOMTORIES smart, waiting it out.
Exactly. They play that intelligently, but they really just wanted to burn the showstopper and ensure that nobody could push forward onto the site. It was too risky, so they're guaranteed to get the spike planted. Climax holding this angle. Cinder has to come up huge, but he looks the wrong way. Now they know there's one in heaven. The hot hand's going to be lobbed up over the top. JW is ready for the shot. 12-11, VORTEX 5. One step away from closing out their map pick of Haven. HOMTORIES need to win this next round with a very limited economy if they want to force this into overtime.
Yeah, it's a good setup here by HOMTORIES to try to buy time. Zumba throws a smoke at the door of short A at the perfect time, and they're all set up with a great crossfire. But again, it's just pedal to the metal for V5. They're not scared. If they're going to make the rush, they commit to it, they go for it. And, sometimes it doesn't pay off, but this time around it very much does, and they succeed by having this confidence. JW doing such a good job, just causing a ton of havoc coming in from A main.
A little bit of chip damage out onto there. Swap out the guns. Load it in just for later. there from Claris. Robot gets destroyed. Don't believe his position has been revealed. He's going to shift to the other side of the door.
Definitely could play for the retake on this one. I feel like HOMTORIES, you got lockdown available for Esperanza, so keep him safe. I like where he's positioned, but that's not good. Losing Impa again early on. Rolex has such a good feel for that operator right now.
Here we go yet again. Run it back to Electric Boogaloo. Big on the plan. They're hunting in form. Zuma pressing forward. The snapback is there on the ultimate. And JW was lost in the meantime. Omen has made his way up here onto the C site. Look them creeping around. Goes for the check. Claris knife out, not ready, but Cinder is. Does manage to finish him off. 3v3 as the rest of the team makes their way forward, dodging out on these recon pulses. You'll see the gun poking out, gets the shot. Paint shells to clear the left side. Manages to follow up for a third. Nakji now left on his lonesome to try and deny this OT.
That spike is in a great spot to counter this lockdown. There's nothing they can really do off of it. The smoke is here. Nakji's gonna push up aggressively through it. He's gonna hear this. These are pros. He's gotta spray through it. He hasn't connected a single shot.
Doesn't know where it is, and there you go. 12-12. We're headed to overtime.
Let's go, baby. This is such a good match between these two teams. I love what I'm seeing from V5, but HOMTORIES, Esperanza keeping him alive, so crucial in that round, and he plays himself very cautiously. There were a few times where I could sense that he wanted to get into B when they used that run it back in there, when they were trying to fake that plant. This time they don't bite. This time they do not bite. They recognize the same situation. They know that the ult is up for the Phoenix. They're like, okay guys, he did it once, is he gonna try it again? No. We wait. Esperanza comes around the backside again. Keeping himself alive is so crucial in this. Even though that lockdown didn't really get that much value, it does kind of force them back. There has to be a respect.
I think we just closed out another half effectively with Cliff not using his Hunter's Fury, didn't we?
Oh my god. I almost dropped my pen again.
This has given me an idea, and I'll get into that later,
okay.
But I have an idea for a new agent. We'll go over that in a little bit. But first, let's dive into the start of this OT. HOMTORIES to start on the attack.
Never have to have an X button. I'm assuming part of it, right? You still need to have that.
Oh, I will explain. I think it's actually maybe a great idea. We'll see. Dart does connect onto Cinder. They'll know that he's still just going to be sitting outside. Shock Dart lobbed in a little bit too far. Cannot get the hits.
A lot of attention being paid to the garage area. There's going to be a smoke coming in from the Omen. Cinder's going to use that to step forward off his own paint shells as well. But Sova wisely backing up. Nakji hold the angle at Long C here. He smoked temporarily, and there might be some crossfires being set up by HOMTORIES to try to take advantage of it. But Nakji doesn't reveal himself for long enough to go for any shots. Look at this setup. Oh my god.
Rolex by Cinder. Takes him straight out of the garage. Great little crossfire. They move up. Claris's head does get taken off, but comes in from the flank, catching Rolex off guard. Deggy now gone. 2v2. The spike yet to be planted. Starts going down with 20 seconds remaining. HOMTORIES very well may be able to make this happen. I'm just also going to take note of it. Impa has his Hunter's Fury. Shots come through. He'll find 4 on the round. A huge turnaround from Impa, who's been otherwise incredibly quiet throughout the duration of this set.
Well, I guess the good news is for HOMTORIES, eventually, if a player is doing poorly, they tend to turn it around. These are all just really top-notch players on both teams, and you can't hold them down for too long. Eventually, they're going to get it together. You know, they're going to find their shots again. They're going to find their kind of mental fortitude, and that's a big one for Impa. Will the Hunter's Fury be used is the real question. Again, if I was betting on it in Twitch chat, I'd lose a lot of channel points right now.
Oh, recon. Doesn't spot him. Let me get out of range of that. Great time to push out. Otherwise, it's going to be the full 5-man push. Aldrone up short, will spot one. That kind of locks Impa into the cubby. He's going to try to retreat. Has this Odin set up. It needs to start spraying away. Manages to find one. Could this just be it? Could it all end in the hands of an Odin. Cinder comes up with 2. They trade it back, but it's a 2v3 disadvantage here for Vortex 5. Spike moved up. No opportunity to try to rotate this to another bomb site. Diggy poking out, manages to find one, but Claris makes this a 2v1. They're shooting through the smoke. They're looking for Diggy. Gets a little bit of damage in. On to Claris. We'll go ahead and rotate out of the site.
Man, this is...
Does he big brain it?
Oh my god.
He's gonna try to.
Oh, but they're not baiting. They're not biting. Claris is ready.
So we're already starting to walk back. Does he recon? Does he just go for the hard check? The cubbies are clear. But needs to win this headshot battle, and he will not do it. Claris comes out on top. 14